Hi, my name is Jennifer, or Savvy Money Girl, like everybody knows me on IG and TikTok. And I have decided to add a little bit of spice to my YouTube channel. So I want to be more consistent here. I want to show up here, and so I decided to just share a little bit of my personal finance story and background with you guys. So I started investing at the age of 17. That's a really young age. I know. So the thing with investing is I grew up in a household where there were a lot of money conversations. My parents talked a lot about money, whether they're trying to pay our fees or they're trying to get a new landed property or building houses, for commercial purposes. There was always some sort of money discussions and conversations happening in my household. And if there is one specific one that literally tugged at my heart all the time, that had to be the fear that my mom had over my dad's people inheriting his properties as opposed to us, because we're female children, we're girls. So I grew up in an eastern part of the country where when men have properties and they die, their male children take over, and my mom just had girls, right? So you see how you're working hard with this man, you're toiling with this man, but at the same time your future and that of your female children are uncertain simply because you do not have a male child, in quote. So she was always troubled, and she felt like even having a will was not enough. And so this kind of like piques my interest a little bit into finances and money, and what can I do to make this woman be peace, as I have peace? Like, what can I do to make her be at peace? And that started my foray or my journey into the world of personal finance, investment, and just achieving financial freedom. So I remember one time how it all began was one day my mom's very good friend comes to visit Nigeria from the US, and she came over to our house and she was having this conversation with my mom. So I was seated at the dining table and I heard them talk. And in her usual manner, her close friend, my mom went out to pour her heart out to her and let her know the fears she had regarding finances, our future, and all this stuff. And her friend goes ahead to tell her, oh, these are the things you can do with regards to investment. And like, these were the investments she was doing for her children, and she thinks my mom should do, for us. And I remember then I was writing it down, and after she left, I walked up to my mom, like, okay, how do we go about doing this? We should go to the bank ASAP. And she was like, you know what, girl, you gotta chill a bit. You're too young, and besides, I have to discuss this with your dad. And I remember thinking to myself, this woman is just scared enough. Like, literally, she doesn't want this desperately. You've literally cried about this thing, to us. And it was funny because I'm like, okay, cool. Like, okay, suit yourself, the whole Nigerian women, oh, I don't keep a secret from my husband, or I have to tell my husband before I make any big move. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, he's your husband. He's not my husband. And the following day, I set out on my way to the bank. And then I went to the bank, I made inquiries. Now, bear in mind that as at then, the internet space was not as huge as it is currently. There were not lots of information online. There were not lots of opportunities. There was nothing like financial technology, so we had to like sign the papers, cross the T's and dot the I's, and get certificates for our investment. So I went to the bank, I did my research, learned about fixed deposit, and I happily went home. And I told my mom, oh, these are my findings. This is what I found out. These are my findings. And then that time was when I got some money from my dad to like go shopping. I was at the university then, and I was like, oh, change your wardrobe, like go shopping, look like a university big girl. And I took that money, went to the bank, and opened my first fixed deposit account. Now, fixed deposit accounts is what we call it back in Nigeria, but over here it's called HYSAs. Like, so it's a high yield savings account. The only difference is it's fixed for a certain period of time. That's the only way you can maximize and get a high yield interest on your savings. So I invested that money, and over time got capital, like money from several sources, and kept on putting. Okay, so that account was also quite flexible because I could always come and top up. So whenever I had spare change, I got money, I just went and topped up my account. And then I remember I was able to build capital. By the first, second year, I'd gotten enough capital, and then I started thinking, oh, okay, what else can I invest in? Now, bear it in mind that this time I was still a student, so basically I didn't have any bills. I literally had everything given to me by my parents. So I had the opportunity to like invest my funds as I deemed fit. So that was when I moved to treasury bills. After thinking so hard of what I wanted to use my money to do, I moved my money to treasury bills then. And then interest rates were at an all-time high. Listen, guys, if there is one thing that investment has taught me, is the fact that you have to strategically position yourself and take advantage of market corrections. It also taught me patience. Guys, I am so patient when it comes to money. It taught me patience and consistency. Like, I am so consistent and patient because I believe that if I keep doing things the right way, over time it's going to build up, it's going to compound. That is not where compound interest comes in the world of investment and in our daily lives. So I was patient. I could invest for a year, for 2 years, and just like remove my mind from my money and from my investments, and it went well. Like, it was interesting and amazing. And over time, my dad got the wind of it. Like, he saw what I was doing. He supported me, like I was having those funds, and it got to a point where back home, I could conveniently live on my passive income without having to work. I was able to take a year off work to just focus on myself, rewind, rejuvenate myself, plan my life. And that was where I was able to get the clarity that I needed to move and relocate to a new environment. Now, imagine if I was stuck in the rat chase, 9-to-5 rat chase, where I couldn't take a break because I had to go to work. At what time will I have to fully develop my mental capacity or my personal development to even strategically start thinking of relocating? So I was able to relocate to a different country without any financial constraints, without borrowing or owing anybody, because I am in a very good place with my finances, in my financial life. So my dad is able to call and say, oh, baby girl, there's this investment that I just heard about, this investment opportunity. Do you think we should have a go at it? Do you think it's a good idea? What do you think? I have this money. Where do you think we can put this money? And then I've constantly developed myself. I have constantly had to learn, to become better with my money and my finances, because I don't know about you, but I want to retire before I'm 50. In fact, 50 is me giving myself grace, because I know I'm going to retire earlier than that, right? I'm just giving myself grace. So in the world nowadays, we have financial technology. It has made investing so seamless and so easy. And it beats me why people aren't taking advantage of investment. Now, especially because you can start investing with any amount, as little as £5, $5, and 5,000 naira. So why are you not strategically positioned in the stock market? Why are you not positioned in the commodities market? Why are you not positioned in the forex market or the crypto market? You shouldn't have to live all your life to pay bills. Like, you work so hard for your money, so your money should in turn be able to work hard for you. So guys, that's a little bit of my financial background and my financial story. I hope to come on here and share more stories and just motivate people, especially as women. We women, I realize that we have it tough, we are scared, and the funny thing is, a lot of money passes through our hands, but we really don't know where the money goes to. And I understand, I can relate, because growing up back then, a lot of money we had a lot of money coming into the family, into the household, but there was no accountability whatsoever. Like, we literally did not know where this money was going to. And I decided to change that money story. I decided to change narrative. So my financial journey was all born from a place of fear and trying to like make my mom be at peace, and trying to, this whole thing of what a man can do, a woman can do better, trying to like push a narrative and make it show the world that it is actually true, so that is my own. That's a little bit of my personal finance story. Subsequently over time, I'll come here, share more stories, more finance tips, and just talk about finance and how we can navigate the financial market, how we can build wealth and build legacies for our generations and our children and our future, So I hope to see you. Please click on the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with anybody that you feel that needs to hear this. See you some other time, guys.